All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Tess Harris, and I'm the Staff Hearing Officer for today's meeting. We'll go ahead and begin. I'll go through the agenda. Before we do that, if there's anybody in the audience that would like to make public comment on items that are not on the agenda today, this is your opportunity to do so. I don't see anybody in the room. Ms. Gu, anybody online that would like to make public comment?
Upon checking Zoom, I do not see any attendees, just panelists. Thank you.
Great, thank you. All right, we'll go into preliminary matters. So requests and announcements for appeals. We don't have any requests for continuances, withdrawals, postponements, or addition of ex-agenda items. Moving on to item B, announcements and appeals. So we do have one announcement for 14 Solana Court. And I'm going to go ahead and read the project description into the record. Pursuant to Santa Barbara Municipal Code, when a proposed development involves the addition of an ADU, the application shall be reviewed by the staff hearing officer without a public hearing. So the announcement of the staff hearing officer decision on a coastal development permit to allow an accessory dwelling unit at 14 Solana Court in the non-appealable jurisdiction of the city's coastal zone. The 11,701 square foot lot located in the coastal zone non-appealable jurisdiction is currently developed with a 1,690 square foot single unit residence and an attached 380 square foot two-car garage. The project proposes to construct a 92 square foot attached laundry room and a 2-bedroom, 644 square foot ADU above the garage. Review and approval of a coastal development permit from the staff hearing officer is requested for the ADU, and a ministerial coastal exemption will be processed for the laundry room. And then the proposed total of development is 71% of the required floor to lot area ratio. So the discretionary applications that are under my purview today are the coastal development permit that would allow the proposed development in the non-appealable jurisdiction of the city's coastal zone, and then determine that the project is categorically exempt from further environmental review pursuant to section 15303. It's the new construction or conversion of existing structures in CEQA. And the project is exempt from further environmental review under section 15303. And so now I will go ahead and make my announcement. First, I realize we have the architect in the audience as well, so thank you for being here today. So just recognizing that it's a 2-bedroom ADU, it's 644 square feet. You already have the 92 square foot exemption for the laundry. That's not part of my review, but part of the overall project. I do know that you went to the Single Family Design Board and received approval, I believe, through an administrative approval back in August for the change in windows, the bay window addition, and it seems like it'll be a really nice addition to the property. I'm very familiar with the area and have sort of traveled around the site recently, so I'm aware of sort of the neighborhood and existing nature of the lot. Certainly, something well within the applicant's purview to be able to build an ADU on the site. So with that, I will make the announcement that I will approve the project at 14 Solana Court, and my approval is not subject to an appeal, so my decision is final. Yes, no problem. Do you want to come on up? I have approved the project, so it's approved. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So I hope you enjoy. I hope the applicant, can enjoy the property, and certainly housing is an important asset for our community to have, and the addition of the unit is certainly appropriate. That's correct. So the next step. Sure. So the next step will be going into the building division. You'll need to submit plans to the building division. One of the things, you can certainly touch base with the planner, Miss Ernest, Carly Ernest, after this meeting. I believe she'll be back in the office tomorrow. And she can sort of guide you into what you need to do to submit for a building permit. There are some conditions of approval that are on the project as well. They're pretty standard conditions of approval, but there are some items that might need to be done, might need to be put on the plans prior to submitting for a building permit.
That is for the building, right?
That's correct.
I know we still have to get some calculations and stuff done, so we haven't done that yet. We want to see if there was any alterations that we had to deal with the planning side. We have 4 agencies. I'm really an interior remodeling person, so I don't get involved in new building very much.
Yeah.
The client that knows me and wants me to do it, then I'll do it. But so this is all relatively new to me. I've done ABR and things like that, so it's mostly this new 4 agencies to deal with, and an ADU and a planning application for the residents.
Certainly recognize there's a lot there, yeah. Yeah, so because the property was in the coastal zone, it has to come through the staff hearing officer for an accessory dwelling unit. That's really what triggered this hearing, but it's an announcement, so it's not really a formal hearing in that regard. And because it meets the, our policies and our zoning ordinance requirements, I certainly feel like it's an appropriate approval and look forward to seeing what it looks like as you get through the building permit process.
Right, so we have approval, we've got planning approval, so now we submit to building.
That's right.
A separate application and separate drawing to the building, or do you pass the information on to the building?
It is a separate application for building, and then the drawings typically do have a bit more detail in them. They're construction level drawings, typically. So you might be submitting the same plan set that you submitted for planning, but adding onto it with construction level drawings as well. And Carly can kind of walk you through that process when you're ready. Or you can go to the building counter, certainly, and they can help you as submit your permit. But you'll have this approval. You just need to submit a building permit. I believe it's within 2 years. To pull the building permit within 2 years. Thank you.
So we're ready now to submit building, and we've got the.
That's correct.
As far as you're concerned for the,
Yep, so you're all set with planning. You've gotten your administrative approval for the single-family design board as well, and then you've gotten my approval, so you're ready to go to building as far as we're concerned, which is, yeah, so enjoy. Yeah, I'm glad we're able to get to this point, and thank you so much. Okay, so we're going to turn into the next item. So that is under section 2 of the agenda and under project. It's for 231 Red Meadow Road. And I'm going to go ahead and read the project description into the record. The 25,849 square foot lot is currently developed with a 2,837 square foot residence and a 638 square foot accessory dwelling unit. Building permit 2024-2507 was issued, and construction's currently underway for a 756 square foot detached 3-car garage. The proposed project consists of converting one bay of the detached 3-car garage into storage within the front yard. The discretionary applications required at this hearing under my purview are the front yard modification to allow the detached accessory space which is other than a garage or an accessory dwelling unit to be located within the front yard, and determine that the project is categorically exempt from environmental review pursuant to section 15303, which is the new construction or conversion of small structures for CEQA. The project qualifies for an exemption under section 15303, new conversion or new construction or conversion of small structures. So now I'm going to turn it over to the to staff to provide us with a brief presentation or walk through the plans.
Thank you, Ms. Harris. Kelly Broadison with Community Development, and thank you for reading the project description. Yes, in 2023, a building permit was issued to convert the existing garage structure. So here's the front of the lot on the left-hand side. This is Remetto Road. And in the back here is the garage. And in 2023, they received a permit to convert that garage to an accessory dwelling unit. Subsequently, they submitted an application to build a new garage here, and it was a 3-car garage in the front yard. And that permit is currently underway. The project also went to design review. It was a minor change to the garage to convert it to storage, to convert one bay of the garage to storage. Now, per the municipal code, detached accessory buildings other than covered parking or an ADU are prohibited in the front yard. So in this case, the applicant has a detached garage in the front yard, which is allowed. However, the fact that they wanted to convert one of the bays of the 3-car garage to storage triggered the requirement for a front yard modification to allow the storage space in the front yard. So the request won't change the size or massing of the approved garage, and the materials will be virtually the same aesthetically for the neighborhood. Constructing a separate storage building on the site outside of the front yard will add to the number of structures and kind of business on the site. So staff found that this request to convert the garage or a portion of the garage to storage in the front yard can be found consistent with the general purposes of the zoning ordinance and necessary to secure an appropriate improvement on the lot. So staff recommends that the staff hearing officer approve the project and make the findings as listed in the staff report. That concludes my presentation as the staff planner, and then we do have the property owner here if he so wishes to make any kind of a presentation.
Great, thank you, Ms. Bradison. Is there anything else that you would like to add, the property owner? No. Okay, great. I have a few questions for either of you, but just, Ms. Bradison, can you show me where the front setback generally is on the site plan?
So the front setback.
Like how far it's encroaching?
So actually, nothing's encroaching into the setback. It's in the remaining front yard. So here's the property line here.
Yep.
And then here's the front setback. It's a 30-foot front setback.
Okay.
So as you can see, nothing's actually encroaching into this. Any
Just
of this.
into the front yard.
It's just in the remaining front
yeah.
yard, which is the technicality of this mod because only ADUs and garages are allowed to be in the front yard.
Great, okay. And then just for the new storage, is it sort of general storage? I mean, is it being used for like any kind of, like a workshop type use? Is it more just simple storage use? Okay.
Ms. Harris, that would be more of a question for the applicant.
I saw the head nod, so it sounds like just general storage. Okay. My only other, it's a pretty straightforward project. I don't have many concerns, but I will say the one concern I do have is that the project has come in, basically every year with some changes and going from a garage to an ADU and then the garage to storage. And so wanting to just make sure that the project as a whole is not being piecemealed or coming through, with sort of different intentions, and so just kind of wanting to raise that as a little bit of a concern, just, not necessarily from a staff standpoint, but just kind of wanting to understand from a property owner standpoint, if it was just sort of change in what you wanted to do with the space, or if, if kind of this is what was envisioned the whole way through, and really just want to, and you don't have to answer that, but want to make it clear that typically we would not want to see a project come in and have changes sort of over and over again. You're certainly entitled to do different things on your property, but I want to, just note that it seems like this was not the intention initially, and sort of changes in what you wanted to do on the site is what triggered it. But if that's not the case, just next time to come in with everything would be great. The one other thing that I see, there's some new additions on the dwelling. Are those part of this application, or have those already been permitted?
Thank you, Ms. Harris. Yes, those have been previously permitted under a separate remodel permit for the main structure of the house.
Okay, okay, great. Okay. Let's see. Okay, well, I'm very familiar with the Eucalyptus Hill neighborhood and the area. It is a beautiful location, and certainly want the property owner to be able to enjoy their property to the maximum extent that they would like, and appreciate the addition of the ADU and the conversion of the original garage into that to allow for additional housing opportunities and on the site. In terms of the new storage, yes, it's in the front yard, but because the site is not, the actual massing is not changing, it's just going from one use to another. I really don't have concerns there, and I have raised the overall just sort of concern about making sure that that staff, that we're aware of sort of what the overall concept of the property is. But with that, I'm going to go ahead. Let me turn back to the slides real quick. I'm going to go ahead and open it up for public comment. I don't see anybody in the room that would like to make public comment on this item. Ms. Gu, is there anybody online?
On checking Zoom, I do not see any raised hands for this project. Thank you.
Okay, great. And we did not receive any public comments either prior to the hearing for this item. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and approve the project. And the project can move forward into building review. There is an appeal process, so my decision on the project is appealable to the Planning Commission within 10 calendar days, and then the decision can also be suspended by a member of the Planning Commission, so that should they so choose within 10 calendar days. Other than that, I wish you the best, and thank you very much, Ms. Brodesson, for the presentation. And with that, the Staff Hearing Officer meeting for October 1st is adjourned.